Hey guys, this is the Car Scene, and today I'm going to be talking about Fast and Furious franchise. The Fast and Furious franchise has made now 7 movies with their newly released Fast and Furious 7. Fast and Furious has many great cars as well, and today I'm going to be talking about 4 of those, and then I'm going to go a little in depth as to my reason or my thinking as to why these movies are so popular. Okay, so the first car I'm going to talk about is Dominic Toretto's Charger, 1970, I believe. This car has over 900 horsepower. It was Dominic's dad's car, and I believe he was scared. They said he was scared to drive it because it had, 900 horsepower. This car has a 428 Hemi V8 engine in it. It has a big blower on the top. It is painted black as well. This car I like more, not that I don't like any of the cars, but this car I like a little bit more because it's a muscle car. And for me personally, I like the older muscle cars. So this one is probably my favorite. The second one I wanted to talk about is the Toyota Supra. That is Paul Walker's. The Toyota Supra has, I believe, somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 horsepower or something like that, I want to say. It has a top speed of 185 miles an hour. It gets from 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds, so obviously it's been modded heavily. And it has a 6-speed manual gear shift. It was painted, originally I believe it was painted white, and then they painted it orange when they fixed it up. And this thing is fast. I mean, like, if you check out one of my other videos, which I'll leave a link in the description, and then I will also leave a link in the end at my outro to me talking about my top 5 favorite cars, and I talk about the Supra. This car can be modded very heavily, as you will see in that video, or as I talk about in that video. Okay, so the third car is I believe Letty, which she appeared in the first movie, and then I can't remember exactly which one it was, but she died, and then well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah. The car she drives in one of the later movies is a Jensen Interceptor, which for most people, including myself, I had no idea what company this was. Apparently it's a company in England. They're not a very big company, and I don't believe they're in business anymore, and they didn't make very many cars. But this car is it's green. It's got 430 horsepower, and it has a Chevrolet Crate engine in it. And that was the kind of engine they put in the movie. The stock version of the Jensen has around 385, so they definitely did some modding and improving with this engine, and they probably did a couple other things besides just the engine. This car, we don't really see it too much, so I can't give an accurate review or opinion of it, because I mean, from what I saw of it, it looked like a good car, but they don't really go into detail, and it's only in, I believe, one of the movies. So there's not really too much information on it. Okay, the next car I wanted to talk about was Roman Pierce's Mitsubishi Spyder. It is in the second movie, Too Fast, Too Furious. It is painted purple. It's got some decals on the side. It has 589 horsepower. It is a 1995, I believe. It is a convertible, at least the one in the movie is. You can I'm sure you can get it in coupe as well. It has a kind of, in my opinion, a little bit of a ridiculous wing on the back. It's a little too tall for me, but that's their opinion, or whoever is buying it, or whoever. If you buy it, then if you want to get that wing, then go ahead. But for me, it's just a little tall. Yeah, that movie again, or that car, again, like the Letty's, we only see this car in the second movie, and after that, you don't really see it again. So, from what I can see of it, I mean, I kind of like it, but to me, it's just not. It's kind of a boring shape, I guess you could say. It's just not something really. I mean, the paint job, yes, is eye-catching, definitely. But like, if the car was just completely, one solid color, like, it's just not something that would, you'd just be like, oh wow, there's a Mitsubishi Spyder, It'd be like, if you see the Supra, or if you see a Charger or Challenger, you would, you'd be like, whoa, there's a Charger, Challenger, or Supra, you know that car immediately. So it's not, the best car in my opinion, but for the movie, I think it worked. Okay, so I wanted to talk about now why I think all the movies are so popular. I think it's because, the main reason would be because they relate to common people. I think they don't very often, or very rarely do they use cars that the average person couldn't, afford. I mean, like, the average person could afford a Supra or a Challenger or Mitsubishi Spyder or the Jensen, which I think the Jensen might be a little harder to find, but you could still, that's a reasonable car. They're not, and many of the other street tuner cars and imports and muscle cars that they use in these movies are very relatable because the average person can buy them. The average person can mod them. The average person could literally make that exact car if they wanted to. So I think it helps in that perspective that, people can definitely relate. So makes the movies a lot more enjoyable because you could be, I mean, for all I know, I mean, someone could be out there watching Paul Walker races Supra, and they could be in their garage working on their Supra, you know what I mean? So that's kind of a cool aspect of it. I think after, like, I want to say like probably the second or third movie, the movies just became popular just because, it's Fast and Furious, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so since this is the first video in my new series of car movies, it's I'm gonna be doing more of these eventually. This is also gonna be a series in my channel, and yeah, I think if you have any other things you want me to talk about, or any movies in particular you're like, yeah, I want him to talk about this movie, or this is a movie I want to know more about, or there's certain cars from any of these movies that you want to know more about, definitely leave me a comment in the comments, and I'll be sure to read it, and if I can, or I'll definitely do a video on it in the future. Okay, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.